You regret ever getting involved in...
I didn't have a choice. It got bad when I was about 15 years old because when I did MTV Cribs, the day that I had to go show off that house, my mom and my dad told me, we're getting a divorce, but you still have to go do this. I had to go show off all the stuff my whole life that was going to be taken away.
Diddy's legal team is literally sweating buckets after shocking new claims about what he allegedly did to Aaron Carter just hit the fan. And y'all, the panic is real. People close to the case say Diddy's squad is bracing for a full-blown disaster, like they don't see any way their guy walks away from this clean. This might just be the end of the Diddy dynasty. 2022, official reports said Aaron Carter drowned in his bathtub, but come on, really? Fans weren't buying it then, and they're definitely not buying it now. A healthy young man just drowns in his own home? The math ain't mathing. And now we're hearing whispers that this tragic end might have had a much darker backstory.
Diddy, it's hard for me to truly get invested in what's happening to Liam Payne right now because I haven't gotten over what happened to Nick. Nick's brother, Aaron Carter.
Right.
A lot of people keep forgetting Aaron Carter was begging for help, begging for independent financing.
Rumor has it, Aaron was about to drop the biggest truth bomb about Diddy's secret freak-offs about 3 years ago. But get this, he vanished before he ever got the chance. The timing? Suspicious doesn't even begin to describe it. And just when you thought it couldn't get any messier, even more voices are rising up. People are breaking their silence about Diddy's alleged dirty dealings, and y'all, it's about to get nasty.
Watching, they need to remember trials involve humans, and humans are messy. So you don't have any purity tests in terms of your witness is on the stand and has never done anything wrong, or your defendant is on the stand and has never done anything right. There's a lot going on both sides, and it really is up to the jury to ferret that out as long as they are given the right facts and the proper...
Diddy's name is being dragged through the filthiest mud imaginable. These aren't just petty allegations. This is next level stuff. Authorities are saying he was running some shadowy underground operation, transporting people across state lines, hiding mountains of cash, and flexing his fame to manipulate, dominate, and allegedly assault his ex. The entire nation is watching. This isn't just about scandal anymore. This is about justice.
In the sex trial against Sean Combs ended with a former member of one of Combs' musical groups on the witness stand. Dawn Richard says that she saw Combs attack Cassie Ventura in 2009. Richard is suing Combs in federal court, accusing him of sexual assault and battery. She'll be back on the witness stand on Monday. Richard's civil lawsuit is still...
Once the first domino fell, it was over. Within a single week, the whole situation exploded. Former staffers talking. Close friends testifying. Even Dawn Richard and Cassie's own best friend have stepped into the courtroom. And what they're revealing is sending shivers down everyone's spine. Secrets that were buried deep are clawing their way into the spotlight.
Properties associated with him. We saw the feds descend on those properties. We saw on aerial footage, federal agents both here in the Los Angeles area as well as in Miami at those residences. Now, the Department of Homeland Security, their what's called HSI, Homeland Security Investigations, gave CNN a statement. I'll read you part of that when asked about what this activity is. They say that earlier today, HSI New York executed law enforcement actions as part of an ongoing investigation with assistance from HSI Los Angeles, HSI Miami, and our local law.
The FBI. Oh yes. When the feds pulled back the curtain on Diddy's homes, chaos. What they found? Nothing short of shocking. His legal team is flailing, trying every legal trick in the book to contain the damage. But baby, the curtain's already been pulled. The truth is out, and it's ugly.
Cassie Ventura's former best friend is also testifying today. What has she said so far?
So her name is Carrie Gordon, and when Cassie Ventura was on the stand last week, she talked a lot about this friend of hers that witnessed a lot of the abuse and that this was someone that she confided in. And Miss Gordon, she's already taken the stand for a few hours. Right now they're on a lunch break and she's expected to return this afternoon. And she said, look, I don't really even want to be here. I was given a subpoena. I'm forced to be here to testify. I haven't spoken to Combs or Miss Ventura since 2018, and that's because
it's not just Diddy we're talking about here. This is a story about how fame, fortune, and unchecked power can spiral into absolute darkness. The feds are now saying he didn't act alone, that he had an entire network helping him pull off illegal acts, drug smuggling, trafficking people without consent, and hiding massive sums of money. Things hit a fever pitch when agents raided his cribs in both Miami and LA. And Chile, they did not leave empty-handed. We're talking hard drives, cash stacks, computers, and sealed files. This isn't just some tabloid mess. We're looking at a federal trifecta: FBI, IRS, and Homeland Security. Yeah, it's that deep.
They said that there were controlled substances used, and this was specifically to allegedly keep the victims obedient and compliant. The feds also state that during these freak-off situations, recording devices were used. Now, sometimes the people involved in the freak-offs, allegedly, didn't know that they were being recorded. And then other times, Diddy and his team, allegedly, would use these recordings as revenge porn and say, hey, if you come forward and report this to anyone, we've got this really embarrassing video. Why would you do that? So that's an allegation too. The feds also say that IV fluids were used in all of this, specifically because the people involved in the freak-offs had to recover from physical exertion.
This isn't tea anymore. This is real deal courtroom fireworks. Lawyers, judges, official witnesses. It's all unfolding in front of the public eye. And finally, some folks are ready to speak. The silence is being shattered.
Had collected, at least in part. We also learned the charges that Diddy faced: racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and transportation to engage in prostitution. And again, Diddy's pleaded not guilty and denies those allegations. But this indictment, this OG indictment, which by the way, there's been a couple of superseding ones, adding a couple of charges here and there. Anyway, going back to the holy grail of it all, the original indictment, that's where we learned about what was collected, including all of that lube and bait.
When Aaron Carter's name came up in court, yep, you heard that right, the same Aaron who died under super strange circumstances in 2022. Before his tragic passing, Aaron was putting the industry on blast, sounding alarms about powerful people trying to control him, silence him, even take away his freedom. He was on social media calling it all out, and now those videos and tweets are echoing through the courtroom. Everyone's side-eyeing each other because of the timing. Scrim foul play.
And I see people saying, you look like you have AIDS, you should go die. I don't understand how I dedicated 22 years of my life to my fans. And
then a witness got up and dropped a bombshell that left the courtroom gasping. They said Aaron knew what was going down behind those locked doors. He was trying to blow the whistle before it was too late. And while no one directly said Diddy was behind Aaron's death, the implication was loud. Everyone's thinking.
Aaron Carter was found dead in a bathtub in his home in Los Angeles last November. Since that time, TMZ has reported the LA County coroner did not find water in his lungs, meaning he didn't drown. Carter's mother, Jane Schneck, posted photos on Facebook that show the bathroom where her son was found. She wrote on Facebook, because of my son's mental illness and prescription drug issues, they, the cops, just wanted it to be something easy that they didn't have the time or inclination to address. Schneck wants a more thorough investigation. She wrote that her son was receiving threats from many people, and she believes there were people out there who want.
The TMZ later reported the LA County coroner didn't find any water in Aaron's lungs, meaning he didn't actually drown. His mother, Jane Schneck, even posted photos from that haunting bathroom scene and slammed the cops for brushing it off. She believes Aaron was threatened, harassed by people who wanted him gone. She begged for a real investigation, but the silence was deafening. Until now.
Case causing online chatter over the shocking discovery. The rapper's attorney telling all to TMZ as the outlet dives deep into the ongoing trial in their documentary, The Downfall of Diddy, The Indictment, streaming on Tubi.
They're essentially saying it's a lubricant for an orgy.
I guess. I don't know what you need 1,000. One bottle of baby oil goes a long way. I don't know what you need 1,000 for.
Yeah, it's the number of bottles going viral on social media, with Diddy's longtime nemesis, 50 Cent, dropping this meme on X.
Now, the mention of Aaron's name in court wasn't random. It was intentional. It cracked open a vault of fear. Online, people went wild. Many called out how Aaron's cries for help were ignored when he was alive. Inside that courtroom, the tension was thick. Diddy's lawyers tried to strike back hard. His top attorney stood up and called the case a complete setup. He claimed the feds were just digging up old rumors to make Diddy look like the villain. But the truth? The courtroom was not buying it.
He has a big house he buys in bulk. You know, I think they have Costco's in every place where he has a home. Have you sat in a parking lot of a Costco and see what people walk out of there with?
TMZ reached out to Costco. Their rep says none of their U.S. locations carry baby oil.
He believes he's innocent. I believe he's innocent. And we're going to fight this case with all of our might until we don't have to fight any longer. We're not giving up by a long shot. I told Mr. Combs I'm going to try and get his case to trial as quickly as possible. I don't think it was 1,000. Let's just say it's a lot, okay?
At one point, Diddy's lawyer straight up lost it and raised his voice in front of the judge. He called the raids a circus, saying they were staged to stir up media drama. They're treating him like he's already guilty, he shouted. But guess what? The damage was already done. The court had seen too much.
To his denial on bail were really two factors. The one factor related to him being a danger to the community. The other factor being how he would potentially obstruct witnesses. Now, critical in the prosecutor's arguments at those previous hearings was the fact that there's this tape that everyone has seen. And they said, prosecutors did, that tape was in the context of a freak-off. It was in the context of sex trafficking. It was in the context of him being violent as it related to that count in the indictment against Miss Ventura, right, who's referred to as...
Diddy's legal team is now in panic mode. They're begging to block more evidence from being released, claiming it's all hearsay, clout chasers looking for 15 minutes of fame. But the government's team, nah, they're not playing. They laid it out. This isn't just a scandal, it's a whole pattern. They say Diddy orchestrated a dark empire, moving people, plying them with drugs, coercing them into stuff no one agreed to. QAnon was too... The room froze. Nobody could believe what they were hearing.